Click off. Clap on. Clap off. The clapper. There I am. Yo, would you say most iconic commercial of all time?
Huh? I feel like we are now Microsoft. Like, you're Steve Ballmer and I'm Bill Gates. Like, in the sense of, like, when we
why do you just off-rip get Bill Gates?
Because you would be absolutely the one to buy the Clippers and go, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. We got fucking Kawhi Leonard who doesn't play a fucking game. Like, he doesn't until I don't know. He hasn't played a game since the bubble. And then you have Paul George talking about
one, I'm not a Clippers guy. Two, how is being a Clippers guy associated with Steve Ballmer? Did I miss something?
You missed this. He bought.
Okay. I'm back on board. Continue.
No,
I can't follow every sports fact. I'm running a small business here, okay? I can't follow every sports fact. Above 1,000 families. Above 1,000 families.
You're B to C right now. We're talking B to B, all right? You're B to C.
That was decent for you.
So, listen, I'm not saying you're a Clippers guy. I'm saying if you had the money, you would definitely buy a team, and you definitely be the guy who would trade for star players such as Kawhi Leonard and be very excited about it, and the guy doesn't play a single game, like, for 3 years. I'm not saying for you, like saying, I don't.
The thing that is tough is I always have something to say, right? I always have something to say, and I'm going to be still very butthurt that you just labeled yourself Bill Gates because I patently disagree with that, except for this specific point where 100% I'm Steve Ballmer, because I do that on video game franchises. I'll trade for somebody and somehow all of a sudden Justin Jefferson torn ACL out for the year, happens 2 seasons in a row.
Exactly.
Am I going to extend his contract? You better believe it. It's going to happen a third time. Damn right it is.
It's a bad thing that you're Steve Ballmer. I'm just saying you have Steve Ballmer tendencies. And Steve Ballmer, to his credit, he has shit ton of money. The guy bought the Clippers. It's not a bad investment. I'm just saying the bad investment came when you thought, we're getting this guy who won a championship in fucking Toronto and a guy from fucking OKC who was like the fourth best player in the West. And now your team is just ass. But it's okay. You're not the worst team in LA. The worst team in LA has LeBron.
Turn it into a basketball podcast. Don't talk bad about my boy Pat Bev. You know I feel some type of way. Hey, you know I feel some type of way.
And he's not even around. The best
Free Pat
player on the team is there. You got Russell Westbrook. You got Street Clothes Anthony. And you got
that's creative. That's unique. That's original.
What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?
If we're gonna talk basketball, can we talk my whiz kids the smashing on your Heat lately? Y'all can't figure out how to win. All right, I'm talking 2 games ago. I'm not talking last game.
You're talking about the game before, all the way. Guys won by.
Yeah, I'm talking pre-Thanksgiving.
At one point from the time, the one point where it was we had 7 guys playing. That's right. Oh, don't forget.
Which by the way was so disrespectful. That's on y'all. It's
really?
I was at that game. Butler was in his fucking pajamas.
Everybody was hurt.
Pajamas.
Everybody was hurt. No, literally, Jimmy hasn't played since I think the 10th game of the season. Bam was hurt. Tyler was hurt. And
you're talking about Steve Ballmer tendencies.
No, hey, we won 3 straight. We play tonight. We'll see you guys in Boston. That's all I'm saying. We beat you guys twice. We beat the Portland Trail Blazers. Next up, the Boston Celtics. We move on.
Sig brags.
You're the one who brought up the Heat. I'm just saying, best defense in basketball.
Hey, Tyler Hero dropping off. Bam hasn't really seen the same. You guys are still riding a 2-year finals hangover. You want to have this conversation? We can have this conversation.
What finals hangover?
The finals hangover that you barely made it in 2 years ago. You remember COVID year? I know it felt like a decade ago.
You mean the bubble year where we went to the finals and then
it doesn't even count. That's right. You're right. Good point. It doesn't even count. Scratch.
We didn't win it, so you can talk to the fucking Lakers about that and their Mickey Mouse champion. Not us. So, welcome to Face of the Franchise. I am your host, Michael.
The football podcast. Welcome to Face of the Franchise, the football podcast.
That is my other host, Little Joe Ooh. They hit him with the ooh. Okay. So, Yeah, basketball and World Cup really got my brain frazzled. So what's the?
We're all over the place, but that's okay because I've been trending on Twitter all week, Nude. I have just been blowing up absolutely because I sent you a text.
Oh, no, time out. Go ahead.
To make it a major announcement, major announcement. Little Joe has a major announcement. It's leaked ever since I sent the text to Nude. How did it leak? I won't accuse my partner, of course. I don't think he'd ever do something like that. Sources will be sources.
I don't know it.
Hackers will be hackers. We can't help it. There's somebody on both our phones. When you blow up, you blow up. We can't help it. With that being said, with no more further delay, the major announcement, Little Joe Ooh, starting next year for one condition. Condition number 2, starting today, right at this moment, because I already kind of got in the way of that condition as of this morning. So 2 conditions. One starting today. The one starting today is Little Joe Ooh will only be placing 4 or less leg parlays going forward in his betting career. He will only be placing 4 or less parlay legs going forward. Nothing larger. Took me too long to learn that lesson. Any comments on the first condition?
Well, I'm going to start with this. You're a sick fuck. Because I don't.
You gonna talk about pregame show?
Oh no! I mean, no. You're
pre-show.
You're a sick fuck for more than that. But I will tell the listeners about the pregame. We were watching the Argentina game with the Mexico game. The first things that came out of this guy's mouth was, "What do you have on these games?" It wasn't like, "Oh, what are you watching? What are you hoping for?" Like
that's what I thought you were gonna say.
Like I was like, brother, I can watch a sporting event without betting. Like I can actually do that. Like coherent.
Yeah, me too.
Like this guy on North State and some bullshit. I don't even know. Which I'm gonna change the channel to that right now because I
know. And you're gonna throw $10 on the same game parlay real quick on Wyoming versus Santa Clara.
Wyoming was. So I was like, so the reason why I call you a sick fuck because the situation that you had to put yourself in to be like, listen, I have first text Nudie about this major announcement, quote unquote.
And don't talk about the comparison. Don't throw me under the bus. Don't talk about the comparison. No,
my point was just, I thought it was like, oh, my man got another, like something happened at work, like shit got real, like, or like, oh, my man got a girlfriend, like he's banging, like, I don't know, something crazy. The fact that it is, you're down to 4-leg parlays, something fucked up actually happened where you're just like
on the latter or the former what you said, I do have something to tell you off air, but yeah.
But I was just like, I'm like, oh shit. I was like, and then when you said it, I was like, this man's down really bad because to say that is crazy. Like, man probably didn't learn any lessons about something, and then he just was like, damn, maybe parlaying Wyoming State with fucking Kalamazoo on some bullshit, or like you probably honestly, Joe, you're
telling me I put in a 6-game leg with Tulane and American and Santa Clara and Jackson State and maybe throw Pepperdine State in there because they're gonna hit the over.
On who's out the last.
What you know about betting on Pepperdine?
Oh my God! The fact that I'm about to put on this fucking game just for you, but
yeah, let me know. We need -6.5 Santa Clara.
Congratulations! I am very proud of you. That is a big step in this because we like responsible gambling. So don't gamble on things that you're not supposed to and money that you're not supposed to gamble away. That is one. So
let me tell you this: if you could win, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm
very proud of you. Very proud of you.
There is growth in this show. Right? Since starting the show, we have found growth. We have found maturity slowly but surely, and I would like to say that's a big part of it. If I could, win every 6-game leg parlay and only lose 2 legs, I would be a billionaire right now. I would be doing this fucking show. I'll tell you that much. I'd be a goddamn billionaire. You would have no idea where I am. I'd have my own private island, just doing White Lotus all by myself out there. And if you haven't watched the show, go watch. A great show. But yeah, that is condition number 1, dude. Condition number 2, and this one's gonna hurt I think it's gonna. I say this one for last because I think it's gonna hurt your soul a little bit. Everyone, go ahead and grab the tissue boxes. Nude.
Okay.
Condition starting next year, at the start of fantasy football season. I will only be in 2 leagues. I will only commit to 2 leagues going forward.
Then I have an announcement. I have announcements to make too.
Uh-oh.
Moving forward next year, I will try, and it's a big try.
Wait, hold on. Nude. Burp, 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 burp.
I don't know if it's a burp or a burp. It has to happen.
We already burned. It's too late.
I'm going to try and do only 6 leagues, and that's cutting it down by 10. And the league.
What a hell of a start to the show. We're growing.
Unfortunately, this year has been just a pitiful year. I will only get 9 teams probably to the playoffs. Knock on wood.
Out of 47, which is tough.
Out of 15, so that's not a good rate. And last year I was on cloud nine. I got all my teams to the playoffs. I've won a couple of championships. This year I put my faith in people like Michael Pittman, who sucked dick. Russell Wilson sucked dick. Me and your favorite of mine, Kyle Pitts. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you could do all this research, but you got to go with this. You got to go with this, and this doesn't work. You have to go with this. You draft Travis Kelce and don't worry about anybody else in tight end position. You draft people like Josh Allen because then you don't have to worry about this Russell Wilson nonsense. And then
let people know real quick. You're setting terms and conditions and parameters going forward for fantasy.
Parameters. Here's the leagues. If you want me to name them out, I'll name them out right now. I'm sorry, the Goonies are not in the list.
You don't even count. You're so disrespectful. By the way, he is in 17 leagues. He doesn't count my league, Forgotten Goonies 2.0.
No, 2.0. I counted it. What are you talking about? I said I counted it. I said they're not.
You literally just said I'm sorry, but I don't count it.
No, I said I'm sorry. I'm not counting him in the 6. Like, I'm not taking it next year. If you offer it to me, I'm not. I decline. Is what I'm telling you.
I think that league might be absolved as of next year.
Okay. So, great, good, and wonderful. So the leagues that are staying are obviously the high school one because that's the oldest. Cousins because I'm the 2-time champ, and I'm gonna get last place this year. So next year it's gonna be revenge season. I gotta do that one. 2 from college. And then 1 dynasty, which I am in right now. And then I got to figure out my last one, which is either going to be one with dudes from California that I've never met before. It's a long story. And then another one.
Wait, what? Wait, no. I don't care if it's an extra 15 minutes longer than usual show. Back that up. Park it there.
It's not.
Explain.
It's one of my good friends from college moved to California, started a league with these kids from California. They needed a 12th guy. I was the 12th. He knows how much I'm obsessed with this shit. Asked me to come in. I did.
Why is that one staying?
I said maybe because that one is just like it's $100. You're playing with guys that don't know you. Like, I literally trading in that league is tough for me because I have zero communication. It's just me and the guy who I know from college, and then. It's nice when I'm like doing well because it's like they're like, oh, there's that son of a bitch from Virginia who just always is in this league and like
beating sucking everybody over. That son of a bitch East Coast Elite got me again.
Yeah, so I'm dropping Goonies. I'm dropping these ones.
Wait. So can I ask you why is Goonies not even making the maybe cut?
So the reason why I thought about this long and hard.
Just be honest. Just be honest with the people.
It's all honesty. It's all honesty here. I think people have lost interest in that league. A lot of people.
I know. What the fuck did I do? It's competitive. It's competitive every year.
I think it's the people in it. And if you want me to be honest, I think it's just the people in it. And it's not your fault. You picked your friends. You picked me. It happened. Your dad's in it. Your brother's in it.
Some of the usual returners this year, especially we got hurt, because some of the usual every year returners been in the league every year. I guess I started a little bit late, which I don't even think I started that late this year.
I don't started that late, in my opinion. But that's my opinion.
And then at least 6 people told me, sorry, Joe, already in 2 leagues, can't do it this year. Would have if you would have asked me earlier. That was at least 6 people. And it was a 16-team league last year, down to 12 this year. No one's heart's in it anymore. It's heartbreaking, except for my father. Except for Papa D, and he's going to be devastated.
doing good. Like I actually trying. I'm trying. Just sometimes the cookies don't fall where they may, and when you think of situations where you're like, which leagues do I want to do best in, right? I hate to say it, when it comes to the payout and what I paid for it and who's in it and blah blah blah, I'm sorry, it's not in the top of the list of things I want to win. There's two big money ones where it's almost $1,200. If you want me to be honest, and those are my focus. Like,
yeah, those are the two that I'm staying in. By the way, Forgotten Goonies isn't one of my two for next year.
Exactly. So it's not even in there. But like situations where it's like the high school one is the oldest and probably the biggest payout. The dynasty one that I told you about, that's good. Like we need that. And it's just like, it's like all those together. Like I'm like, okay, 6 to 7 leagues, I should be able to dominate because of the amount of times where my brain could not function for all 15 to 16 leagues.
Yeah. That's the biggest reason, by the way, that you're getting to, right? Is because I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a dude who is legitimately obsessed with this, arguably OCD about this strictly, and that's it. Arguably very OCD. Even you do have weeks where you're like, oh, fuck, like, I still had Justin Fields going and that, and it's too late. That's what happened to me this week, and it happened to me in Forgotten Goonies. I knew I even had some plans for him. I was going to put Taylor in, and just for whatever reason, it was feast week. There's 1,000 different games going on. I had 6 different teams to set. I just didn't move Justin Fields out, and it hurt me. I lost against my arch rival and Forgotten Goonies and in all fantasy, and it hurt.
And what sucks in the entire thing, and we don't have to keep going on this because I feel like this is great conversation, but like
this might be this could be the whole show if we really wanted it.
It was a slow week, and we're
gonna bang through the rest. Yeah, we're gonna bang right through the rest.
But it sucks because when you're in 15, 16 leagues, right? You are playing every single player. Like you are playing every single guy that you could ever imagine. You have a guy that's on the other team that you need to win and blah, 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 blah. Like Josh Jacobs this week, right? Josh Jacobs did tremendous. Killed me in 2 leagues. But I had him in another league. Like it's that mindset. Like
you're in a mental pretzel every week, regardless of what the situation is.
So 2 of the big leagues, right? Cousins and Ashford going against Travis Kelce. I need Travis Kelce to do good in other leagues so I can make the playoffs, do these certain things. And I'm like, dude, like, what the fuck? Do I want Travis Kelce to do good or do I want him to do bad? I have Jonathan Taylor. I'm going against Jonathan Taylor.
And like, that's always been who's very, you know what, probably more common sense than anybody we know. Jeff, who sits silent in the corner, has always made this point. And it's a very cogent, sane point in which we don't usually go into that realm of being cogent and sane, dude. So, you know, it is fair to us that we don't go into these realms. But every single year you have, let's say, if you even have 4 teams fantasy leagues, you're going to be in that pretzel. 16 is a mindfuck. 6 is too much for me. I don't know how you haven't been committed with 16, but it's too much. It's too much.
And let's be honest, I'm not, and I try my, and like, I haven't set a bad lineup. Like, I haven't been like, oh, I put somebody in that I forgot, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, sorry, Mr. Perfect.
No, I'm not saying it as a diss to you. But I'm putting just guys in. Like, I'm putting random guys. I'm like, oh, I'm not really thinking
after a 5K, bitch.
Listen, if they want to put me on Fantasy Football Now or Fantasy Footballers and talk about this, I will, because this is a revelation. Because I thought I would never say this.
Yeah, I'll reach out to my contacts over there.
But seriously, like, it is now to a point where I want to dominate these leagues. I want to do it. Now, 6 to 7 leagues, I'm still going to have mental pretzels, but they're not going to be that big. And it's just going to be like, hopefully, it's going to be like 1 or 2 on Yahoo, 3 on ESPN, 2 on Sleeper. And it's going to be easier to check. But it's like situations where I'm just like, bro, what is happening? Like, it is, and like my Sundays need to be better, and I think that's what it is. I think
you know, there was a time when you were a kid, you would enjoy Sundays. Sundays are, you know, you didn't have any money on the line. You didn't have fantasy leagues. Well, you probably still had. Sorry.
I'll tell you what. When the best year for fantasy football and like real football was. It was 2009. This is going to be a quick story. I was in 2 fantasy.
Again, very slow show besides it, so keep it rolling, baby. And I actually do have one final minor announcement after this. That's just more concerning, and I want your opinion.
2009, the Steelers were 13 and at that time 3, I think. We're going to the playoffs. I'm in 2 fantasy leagues, got both of them to the playoffs, won those championships. The Steelers won the Super Bowl. That's what I want to feel again. I want to feel like I can run these teams efficiently with the Steelers being good. Now the Steelers are ass, and I'm ass. So there's nothing to enjoy on football Sundays.
We're just forever chasing the track. Let's just call it what it is. Let's call a spade a spade. Your favorite quote from season 1. Let's call a spade a spade. We are forever chasing that track. We are addicts. We go ahead and we shake when we don't get our foosball. We have to ingest it some way, somehow, and we have ingested it so much. There's no joy. There's nothing left in our spirit, but we are not going to quit it. This is our drug of choice, and we cannot quit it. No joy left.
And the problem with, and I'll tell you the real problem is to get my return on investment in paying for all these leagues, I got to win at least 3 of them. Like, you can't just not win. It is, you got to win some of these because, like, if you're in all
that's something we never talk about, but it's probably the thing to talk most about. And how many years doing this, 10 plus, let's say, in the years that you've had 10 plus leagues, how many times have you actually made money?
Oh, and I'm not, and this is not like a flex. This has
Capiler.
Oh, I swear to
Capiler.
Oh, last year, $800. I made $800 from my original payout. The year before that, I broke even the year before. The year before that, I think I was minus 300. Don't quote me, but it hasn't been bad. It has not been bad. It could get worse. Let's just say that.
But you only went back 3 years. I mean, again, we don't want this to be a 10-hour show.
Well,
if we have to do a bonus episode, maybe where we break down the financial total, won, lost, year to year, see where we're at.
Oh, I mean, if you want me to tell you the overall arching problem is because I have a job. That's the thing. Like, when you have a job and you have your own money, you don't have to worry about anything. It's your money. Like, you fucked it up. Like, it's not like, oh, I got to go tell dad $100. Like, no, you fucked it up. That's it. End of story. And
some people spend all their money at the bar. Some people spend all their money building side projects. They love they're a craft guy. Some guys blow all their money in fantasy football.
I want people to understand this and wholeheartedly understand this. There's millions of different things. We'll
put a deep bow with this topic right here. Go ahead, Nude.
Yeah. There's 12 billion things that I could have been addicted to that could be way worse for my brain and my body. All I'm saying. End of story. Go ahead, Joe. Give me the minor announcement.
The minor announcement, and I just want your opinion on this. Ate Taco Bell today. Did pre-show poop. No odor, dude, of poop whatsoever. Good. No. The odor was instead salt. It was straight salt, like that's on my French fries. And this is not a bit. This is not a riff. This is not a ha-ha shits and gigs. No pun intended there. This is just real. It just smelled like straight salt. It was poo-poo water, not solid poo. I mean, because at Taco Bell. And straight salt. Thoughts, comments, questions, concerns?
I think you might need to go to the doctor. Do you think you need to go to a doctor?
A couple weeks now.
Huh?
You've been saying this for, I said originally a couple weeks, but I think you've been saying this for a couple months now.
I mean, Joe, I feel like you're just decaying at this point. Like, do you not feel like you're decaying?
I've lost like 10 pounds.
Yeah, that's not good. I don't know what to tell you there, brother.
I think I needed to lose at least 10, so there's a start in positive.
So you're saying you had Taco Bell. You had Taco Bell.
There we go.
So what's the cause of concern here? What was the thought of concerns here? The Taco Bell?
My poop shouldn't smell like straight salt. It should smell like poop.
It should not smell like what? Salt?
Yeah, it shouldn't smell like straight salt. It should smell like poop.
Yeah, dog. You have high sodium. You have high blood pressure or something. Your arteries are probably yelling at you at this point. You might go out like Elvis.
Hey, listen, American icon, American soldier, probably very problematic back in the day, but I wouldn't be upset. Just put a PB and marshmallow sandwich in my hand now, fry that bitch, and I'll just go ahead and waste away on the toilet. And those are my major and minor announcements, Nate.
All right. Well, I appreciate everybody who still is listening.
That's
to
how
this.
you derail a slow NFL week, right there.
But one word news, is that what we're doing next? One word news.
What?
One word injury.
Here, we're gonna go ahead. We don't want to go ahead and keep it going. Kick the horse while it's dead already. We killed the horse. We're gonna let it, rest in peace, rest in power and sorrow, and move right along to the injury report. Everybody's favorite segment, nude, of the show. Not really. So let's just get it out of the way really quick. Aaron Rodgers, ribs, likely to play Sunday. We will see, though. I'll have a little bit more on that later. I have a theory, nude. Von Miller, lateral meniscus tear. They're worried it's ACL. He will miss some time, but not too much. Probably back week, we'll say 16, 17. Next up, Elijah Mitchell. So that should be good if you're a CMC owner, but MCL sprain. Tristan Ward, so at least miss a couple weeks there as well. Tristan Ward's foot, not really specified. Likely will play, looking like he'll likely play this week, though. Terran Armstead, huge hit for the Miami offensive line. Do not sleep on him. One of the best left tackles in the game. Pectoral strain, nude. Will miss some time with that. Next up, we have Allen Robinson, foot surgery. Who gives a shit? He shouldn't even made the list. Travis Etienne, day to day.
Out of Etienne was good. During the game, they just didn't put him back in, so he'll probably play this week.
I am starting him this week, but how my fantasy's going, I'll probably be fucked one way or another. Not him.
Fuck fantasy.
Eddie Jackson, foot. You said he's back this Sunday as well, right?
Who did you say? Sorry.
Eddie Jackson. You got 2 years. Use them both. I know that Santa Clara, Wyoming game's good, but
Eddie Jackson and Darnell Mooney out for the season.
Okay, and Darnell, that's right. You said, okay, so yep, gone for the season. Not really big for the Bears. However, there is a lot of exciting for the future going forward with what Justin Fields has done this year, but not really that big for them this year. Now more a topic that I literally want to spend 10 seconds on. I shouldn't even put it on the list. Again, slow NFL week. Can we just stop talking about OJ? We have to stop talking about OJ. Can we stop talking about
but I don't know, man.
I don't want to hear about Juice, and I especially don't want to hear about Odell Beckham Jr. I don't want to hear about OBJ. But put the B in the middle for OJ. I don't want to hear about him anymore. When he lands somewhere new, he's going to land somewhere, then we can talk about it. It is like it's the Tim Tebow ESPN segment of the year. That's really what it fucking is. You're still stuck on the OJ and OBJ, aren't you?
Caught me off guard, but go ahead.
You're such an anus guy now.
Yeah,
you're such an anus guy. That's literally for one person, and it's you.
OJ.
All right. OJ is good. We're now an OJ podcast. Got that. All right. JJ makes history on Thanksgiving, passing random miles with the season. Who gives a shit? Very baseball stat. Don't know why I added it in the outline. Giants versus Cowboys get American Idol numbers for breaking a regular season views record of all time. Giants and Cowboys.
No.
Next topic.
I feel like I hear this shit every year in every fucking situation. The most televised bullshit, most blah, blah, blah. Like, what the fuck? Like, all right.
It's just marketing bullshit so that the NFL gets their ratings back up. We know they've been dipping for years. They don't like to talk about it. Sean Taylor. Hold on. Let me back it up. I want to ease into this one a little bit. Allow me to ease.
What?
I said I want to back up and ease into this one. Can you allow me to ease?
Go ease in. Yeah, go ease in. What the fuck? What?
Allow me to simmer on in if you don't mind. I'm going to dip my toe in the hot tub, see if I need to turn down a little bit, then come in.
What is wrong with you? Just fucking say what.
Thanks for joining me in the hot tub tonight, babe.
You're welcome, dude. What's going down?
That might have been my favorite moment ever of the show. Ever. All right, so easing in, man. For the second year in a row, and yet another blunder and a literally, I can't think of a more embarrassing, hysterical, shameful, pitiful run of a franchise, or as I've said many times, any kind of business at any light whatsoever in a very, very long time. Sean Taylor gets disrespected for the second year in a row. He gets disrespected for the second year in a row. I talked about it last week of my weariness of the statue with the Jackson Mahomes TikTok on Sean Taylor's memorial last year. And it happened again. Positives before I get into, the obvious. It's been talked a lot about this week, so I won't spend too much time on it because it honestly truly does no bit. It makes me sick to my fucking stomach. And just embarrassed, continuing to be embarrassed by this team that I pour my heart and soul into for 29 years. Parts I did like was they had the soccer shoes and his patent gloves. He preferred the soccer cleats. So anybody talking about that, you weren't invested in this player. You didn't watch this player. You didn't care about this player. But yeah,
I did it. I know.
Go ahead.
I don't care about Sean Taylor.
No. I'm saying if you are bitching about the fact that he was wearing soccer cleats and those kind of the receiver gloves that he used to wear, then you weren't a Sean Taylor fan. You clearly did not care about the guy. Not you specifically. Again, you got 2 years. You're seeming to have a difficult time using them both this show, but not you. Not you.
I'm having a day. I'm having a fucking day right now.
Can we get a quick Santa Clara, Wyoming check-in?
Yeah, I got you. Continue. I can't find this game anywhere. Continue.
Probably ESPN Plus.
Probably
I'll try to get it for you in a second. But had to get my mind off this, but I'm going to dive right back in. Outside of all that, outside the soccer cleats and his custom gloves, which he wore in every game, he preferred the soccer cleats. The statue wasn't a statue.
It was a Macy's mannequin.
You find it outside of a Lord and Taylor. You find it outside of a Saks and Fifth Avenue. You find it at a Macy's. You might find it at a fucking Target. But you certainly don't find it under the category of statue. It needs to be rebuilt. This needs to be covered up like it never happened. I need a media cover up ASAP. I'm not even, again, doing a bit whatsoever. I fucking cried over this. It was fucking disgusting. You might as well let another player fucking wear his number at this point. That's the level of disrespect it's at. That's the level we've reached. You try to honor this man 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row. Nothing, by the way, on the 10th anniversary. Nothing on the 5th anniversary, by the way. Nothing. Go back and look. Nothing. Go back and look.
No, I mean, I'm with you. Fuck this franchise with what they've been doing. So keep going.
And then when we finally decide to try to honor him, you get a fucking little dick shrimp kid dancing on the memorial, and we get the same budget for a statue that they get at Lord and Taylor. Again, I am done with this topic after this final statement. Media cover up, rebuild the statue. I will black out and forget this ever happened. I will happily do that for you all. Rebuild the statue because it's not a statue. What is it, dude?
It is a mannequin.
It's a fucking mannequin. Next topic. To the Jazz, much more enjoyable for me. Another topic that I expect to spend at least 20 on. Do the Jags have the most fuckable mascot, Nate?
Oh my god. I gotta read these show docs.
I'm taking advantage of the fact that if I send the outline right now as I'm building back up trust to show up weekly, I'm just relying on the fact that, okay, he sent the outline. That means he's going to show up to the show. And that's what you're going off of right now. And I'm definitely taking advantage of the fact that I know there's no chance you're reading these outlines. So let's talk about that Jaguar and that thong. Woo, baby.
Yeah, what a time to be alive, I guess. Jesus Christ.
How many beers?
No. The amount of beers that would take me to do that would kill me. Don't tell me. And I know Sam's nearby.
I think she would approve of this. I think you get a pass on this. Don't tell me One Love nude. One Love blackout nude. Don't tell me he's not thinking about it. Because I've met that guy. And let me tell you right now, that guy's striking. That guy is striking unless he passes out prior.
There's 0-0. No, sir. No way. No how.
That is my lock of the year. One Love nude comes out, you are fucking the Jaguars mascot.
I wish I could tell you otherwise, but next. Actually, I wish I couldn't tell you otherwise. Fuck that. What the fuck? No.
There is. I had the rest of the show blocked out for this, so there's nothing else.
Okay. Well, we can go to surprise.
Before we do that, let's talk about our games. Let's knock those out of the way. You want to go first, baby?
Well, we won, but I tweeted it.
Hey, no, stop there. We won. Steelers won. Steel curtain.
What happened? Here's the deal. We lost Najee. We were up 16-0, first of all. We couldn't score. Pickett and Pickens looked great. Pickett looked great. The one pass that I'm very concerned about was the one in the end zone that literally could have just wiped everything away.
Sure.
Next, whatever happens at halftime, do the opposite. Because this is the third game now where I suck at fucking team. And I'm like, dude, fuck yourself. So that's where I'm at currently.
Where are you at with Pickett as a whole right now?
Oh, great. I think he's improving. He continues to improve. I'm happy with his improvement. Let's get him a new offensive coordinator and hope for the best from there. So.
I know this is your biggest enemy for some reason, even though he's on your side, but he did have a great tweet, Jersey Jerry, this week. Said Matt Canada literally ran the same play 5 times on 3rd and short. And he did. He had the same fucking recipe.
When I read that, the funny part is I said out loud, like, yes, he fucking is. He fucking is. Like, shouting like Jerry can hear me. You know, I was like, and that's where I was. And I was like, my brain completely shuts off. And I'm like, I got to realize also in these situations, Matt Canada is the worst person to ever strike a football field with an offensive playbook. That is so.
Clip that. That's the show trailer right there. Clip that.
Onto your game, which matters more because you're now the best team since week 5? Week 6. 6-1.
Since week 6, when we barely got that win against the Colts, we are 6-1 in our last 7 games. 5-1.
Don't say that. A win is a win, brother. But it was a win-win. It's a win and a win for you because it started this whole thing. It started a great trend. So continue.
Taylor Heineke. No worries at all, brother. No worries at all. So 6-1 since we started out the season. 1-4. Absolutely abysmal. 5-1 with Taylor Heineke. Yeah, all of a sudden everybody knows his first name, huh? And all of a sudden it's not Tyler anymore, huh? All of a sudden we know it's fucking what, nude?
Heineke.
Taylor Heineke. That is right. Heineke. Has been absolutely doing everything he needs to do for the most part to get the game done. Don't sleep on Brian. Don't sleep on Antonio. Don't sleep on that offensive line, which has absolutely blown everybody away in terms of what they've been able to create, the space they've been able to create. Scary Terry still doing his thing. Just absolutely fantastic. Continue to watch that defense. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful job. We are playing up to the potential. Listen, I love you, Chase. No disrespect to you, Chase. But like I said earlier on the show, either come back or don't. Because right now you're pissing like a puppy. And as I quote the great Jamal Williams, if you're pissing like a puppy, get off the porch. I don't want you on my porch. Okay? Wait till next year. Let that injury fully recover. Do whatever you got to do because it's been 2 years and 4 weeks of teasing, and I am done with it. Either start pissing like a Rottweiler, start pissing like a Weimaraner, or get the fuck off my porch. I take German Shepherd piss. Give me what you can, but no more Chihuahua piss. No more Chihuahua piss. But more importantly, back to how this game played out. I get to use my favorite word in the English dictionary, Nude. That is fortuitous. This was a very fortuitous ending, and I'm not going to claim that it's not. For our degenerates and absolutely mush brains out there, that means lucky. It was one of the luckiest games of the season. God, I hope you know what that word means. But it was one of the luckiest games of the season. That obviously that Kendall Fuller would go ahead, snap it up in the air, and Kendall Fuller gets to the ball. That's just, hey, I believe the announcer said it. I can't remember who said, hey, play that simple tip drill. Simple tip drill. Kendall won the tip drill, won us the game. So I'll take it. Again, this is a Falcons team that's been feisty all year. This is a Falcons game that's kept it close with pretty much every opponent all year. Marcus Mariota was looking like he was trying to get something done. We couldn't fucking stop him in the run game, but we did enough to get it done. Fortuitous win that goes our way. Not saying that we didn't earn it the first 4 quarters, but fortuitous that we didn't almost give it away there. Great job, Commanders. Let's keep it rolling. Left hand up.
All right. Couldn't say about go in the Commanders. So you want to go first with surprise disappointment game of the week?
Can I hear you give it your shot to introduce the segment this week? Can I hear you give it a try?
What?
I'll tee you up and then I want you to try.
Tee me up for
Week 12 surprise disappointments and games of the week. Now you're.
Do we do this? Do we actually do this?
I do this every week.
You don't do that every week. You don't do it like that.
Again, you never use both your ears when we record, do you? Yours is my turn to talk, my turn to talk, my turn to talk. Okay, Joe's done talking, my turn.
Don't do it like that, brother. No, I'm just kidding. Surprise.
I think you might do the show like that. I think that's how you do the show. Don't tell me you don't do it like that, brother. I think that's how you. Joey's almost done talking. Joey's almost done talking. My turn to talk.
Surprise disappointment games of the week. Is that better?
You make me sound like if Shiesty was a voice tone. If Shiesty was a voice tone.
Disappointment game of the week.
Surprise disappointments and games of the week for week 13 from Lil Joe. All right, fucking go, dude.
Do you want me to go?
Please.
All right. So let me remind myself of your
3 Taliban games.
Don't use both your ears when we record the show. Don't read the outline.
Well, I got a dog barking.
Wonder why it wasn't showing up.
So you got okay. All right. I see.
Where's speaking? It's like we're in the Forgotten Goonies League. Where's your heart at? Find your heart. I need it.
If we're gonna talk about Forgotten Goonies, there is no heart. Let's just say that one. All right.
I need the opposite of Forgotten Goonies. Okay.
Right.
Give me that heart.
Okay. Sounds good. So my surprise game of the week is actually going to be, I don't know why I'm putting this as a surprise, but I think I'm going to put it as a surprise. Because there is one game that you would expect Russell Wilson to actually do well in, and it was probably this game. And, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the dude against the Panthers, you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to. Like, you're supposed to get going against the Carolina Panthers defense, who has nothing. And then you have the Broncos defense, who I hear if they had some sort of offense, they'd be a good defense. But they let Sam Darnold look good. They let DJ Moore look good. Yeah. They let Deontay Foreman look good. Everybody look good. And that's why it's the surprise of the week, because even if Russ sucks dick, you let the Panthers score. Surprise. Oh, my God. 100 yards rushing for Deontay Foreman, 100 yards receiving for Moore. Like, come on, dude. I understand all these different things. But, like,
I haven't done that since 2020.
Like, guys that you just are not, like, what are you doing, dude? What are we fucking doing here? Like, and for the Broncos, I read something. It's like their dead cap space, if they release Russell Wilson, is that bad. And it's going to be that bad. When they release him, everybody's going to be like, well, what are we going to pay for him? Well, I don't know. What do you want to pay for him? Well, he's damaged goods. I don't know if they're going to release him. That's just a very big comment that I made. But at the same time, we'll see.
That's a $250 million loss if you release him. So let me ask you this. Two questions. One, and these are kind of some of the obvious questions of the week, but they got to be asked as we are the football podcast of the world. 1, is Russell Wilson the most hated of his teammates of all time? 2, is this the worst financial mistake we have ever seen out of not only any NFL franchise, but any sports franchise in history, excluding Albert Hainsworth? Go ahead. I knew that was going to come, so excluding that.
He is the most hated player. If I had to take a poll today, most hated player. A defensive tackle went to him and yelled at him. Like, I don't know what he said, but he probably said something fucked up where he was like, let's ride or do better, or like, we're going to get your back. And then the defensive tackle was probably like, shut the fuck up, dude. You haven't gotten our back all year. Stop saying we ride, blah, 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 all this shit. And it's just like, dude.
Russell looked like stupid shook too when that was said to him. Whatever was said to him.
It's a fucking mean-ass Samoan who just comes up to his face and just wants to rock his fucking world. So, yeah, that all in all is just a bad situation. And financially, I've seen worse, I guess. You could say, like, the AB thing was bad. You could say, like, Le'Veon Bell for the Jets have been bad. I'm naming Steelers. I should name somebody else. But, you could say, didn't somebody pay Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan got paid all that money. Now look at him now. I mean, like, Derek Carr, like, you don't know what you're getting with Derek Carr. Like, I don't know. It's hard to say because Russ is that bad. Next year, he does this again. I mean, what are you left with? Like, you're going to have to play him. You're going to fire Nathaniel Hackett. So, I don't know.
I think it is the most memorable, at least in recent memory, the most memorable financial chopping off of your own cock that I've ever seen any franchise do. I mean, I can't think of a better. Maybe you can find some in the NBA. None are coming to mind right now that are bigger sinkholes. But this is just awful. This is absolutely blasphemous. And this is embarrassing. It's just good that another franchise is in solidarity. And by the way, Russell, fuck you. Didn't even want to pay a visit to Ashburn. He'd be begging for a visit to Ashburn.
Are you mad?
He will be begging for a visit to Ashburn this offseason, bitch.
No, and you should say no because you have Himmicky. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Oh, I want to bring him. I want to hype him up. I want to say, we got this catchphrase for you, and I want to kick him square in the nuts and tell him to get the fuck out of Ashburn.
Fuck him. Now.
that may be all we got. We'll see. But wait, we're a playoff-bound team.
So, switching gears to now my disappointment of the week.
Disappointment of the week. I think I did it more when we started the show. When we started the show, and I kind of leaned off it for a while. Recently, season 4, I've been back in it.
Yeah, I think really now it's just. I mean, for this game, you can. I think joking aside, I mean, has there been a more disappointing year for anybody than Tom Brady and the Buccaneers? Like literally, like when I watched that game against the Browns, you think about it, you're like, okay, the sicko is not coming back until next week. You're going against Jacoby Brissett. You just won a big game, quote unquote. You have this running back in Rashad White. Sorry.
Yep. You got there, Rashad White.
You got Chris Godwin. You have everybody back. Everybody's healthy. It's after the bye week. Let's go. We're going to Cleveland. It's a winnable game. And then guess what? You don't do anything. You don't do jack shit. You lose in overtime to the Browns. You don't use their timeouts. Everybody's talking about the timeouts with Todd Bowles and whatever. But, man, Tom Brady was missing Mike Evans wide open. They're just doing stupid shit on third down. They're getting bad penalties. Defensively, they're just making Jacoby Brissett like more of a reason why you shouldn't start Deshaun Watson when he comes back. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, and Njoku had the best catch. Had one of the best catches this year. Saved them the fourth down, caught it, send it to overtime. That's ridiculous. Like, and then you're like looking at the Bucs and you're like, this was a team that people thought, next year the Bucs. Brady's back. Brady's going to do his thing. They were only a field goal away from the NFC Championship game. It's just been a disappointing season, and then I kind of want the Falcons to win this division because it's just so bad that I just want the worst team I could think of to win that division, and the Falcons could be that team for me. And credit to the Browns, but the Browns,
that'd be the biggest bit the NFL's ever pulled off.
I think it's now to the point where it's just like when you have that bad of a division, you just want to put that team at home, watch whatever wild card team should have been at home instead of that team, crush them, and then go from there. And it's gonna probably be like at this point, it's gonna probably be the Dallas Cowboys, and they're gonna fuck them up. And that's gonna be it is. I mean, I hate to say it, but listen, I don't have the Cowboys moving past that, so don't worry about that.
Relax. They couldn't even cover 10.5 against the Giants. Relax.
Saw that coming. But the Bucks, what an awful game and what an awful team. So
what the greatest backdoor cover of the season so far? Thank fucking God.
They did. And then here's a game of the week right here. Was there a bigger week than Geno Smith and fucking Derek Carr just slinging the pill? No, there is.
Sheesh. I gave you a good one again, huh?
I mean, let me tell you something. Sign me up.
There's the heart, by the way. Go ahead. There's that energy.
That game got my balls juiced up. Even though I lost in fantasy of that fucker Josh Jacobs, 33 carries, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns, 100+ yards receiving. That's one of the greatest games I've ever seen from a running back since LT did his thing. And like CMC did 3 touchdowns this year, throwing, catching, and running. And
second highest fantasy production to AK in the last 5 years. Alvin Kamara, only guy higher.
I mean, if you had any piece of this game, you had Devontae Adams, you had J.S. Jacobs, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Kenneth Walker. Like, the guys out here were just eating alive. Even when Foster Moreau got a touchdown, my start of the week, I'm like, bro, these guys are slinging the rock. And we're talking about Russell Wilson. No, man, the Seahawks came out and got them for all that they got, bro. And they have a top 5 pick because the Broncos suck dick. And they're going to probably, I mean, I don't know. They're in contention for the playoffs, not in the playoffs. I still have you guys over them. But, like, I mean, you couldn't tell a Seahawks fan, like this was a possibility, like, 11 weeks ago. This is crazy. Like, this is nuts that they're doing all this. The Raiders are doing all this. The Raiders are actually showing some sort of life, showing what they should have been, kind of. And then it just, I mean, caps it off with an 86-yard rushing touchdown when the Seahawks literally didn't commit anybody to that hole. Like, it makes no sense, but whatever.
Right.
Whatever. But, yeah, I mean, what a great game. 40-34, those are the games you show people if they want it and they haven't seen the NFL. That's the game you show them. So
I haven't seen you this jazzed up since in the 2016 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select.
No.
No, I know that has a reverse effect on you now.
Allegations.
I know little Nudie creeps up inside. I know it creeps up inside now, but there was a time.
For both guys. The sicko and the fucker who believes do you believe in 9/11? Of course I do, you dickhead. Like by
the way, that might be the most did not age well bit of the show. is that bit we used to do.
Like what? Like
my surprise. You'll like this one, Nude. You'll like this one. Jags versus Ravens. Looks like Justin Tucker couldn't set another record.
Say it slow. Talk about it.
I am a fast talker. That's what my old acting teacher used to always tell me too. Especially off 2 Red Bulls. Are you jerking off?
No.
Are you jerking off to me talking?
Talking about the Ravens losing to these fuckers.
Say it slow. Play it slow and sensual. I thought you were giving me the same advice my old acting teacher used to give me. But you just want a little SMR in there.
You know how you asked about my thoughts?
Excuse me.
You asked about my thoughts of the game after the fact. I'm going to tell you, Darren, right now. I was boned up the entire time. The fact that I fucking Lamar show why he's not a good quarterback, and he's pissed off on Twitter, and he's talking about shut the fuck up, and John Harbaugh says don't go on Twitter, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And Trevor Lawrence, look at all the part of being a #1 pick, winning on a good defense, a great defense. Oh, yeah.
By the way, this is Nude's other surprise of the week. This is Nude's other surprise.
I was so, like, I'm glad you took it, because I would have talked for 30 minutes about this. Go ahead. I'll be right back.
Yeah, okay. I appreciate that. No, I will let you go off on this for a brief second. Let me just real quick sum up Justin Tucker couldn't set another NFL record to give the Ravens a dub. It looks like this offense is in shambles. The Harbaugh and Lamar connection is looking real rough. We need to get my boy, the best quarterback in the league, on another team. That's a different – I know you love hearing that from me as well. Settle down. Don't splooge all over your computer. Relax. All right. Again, we're recording this for public eyes. Go ahead. Contain your nut. But he needs to be on a different team. This team needs to restructure the offense as a whole. He's raw dogging right now if you're listening. Non-YouTubers, he's raw dogging it. But no, and the Jaguars pull it off. One of the great two-point conversion wins of the week. One of the two great two-point conversion wins of the week. This team looked like a scary offense. They've shown shades of this all year, Don't forget week 1 where they almost got ahead and beat our ass. They put up 28 points against us. This team has shown flashes. Travis Etienne has been going off this year. They've shown flashes that they can be a really great team. They beat what I would say is a team on the rocks, a team on the fence that can get a little confidence booster going forward. Ravens need to absolutely reevaluate, but before my partner goes ahead and completely just has no more sperm left in his nuts, I will move on from this game. I will go ahead. I do not need to see him jerking off in the middle of a recording ever again, although I appreciate, again, talk about put your heart back in it. I do appreciate that. Disappointment of the week is Packers versus Eagles, and everyone's like, Joe, you just can't let it go, can you? You can't let your ayahuasca your anti-vaxxer, immunized, whatever, fucking ayahuasca loving quarterback go. You're right. I couldn't. The era of Jordan Love is beginning this season. I'm going to tell you right now, they are going to regret giving him that contract extension, and this game fully showed that. Why? You're asking me why? And say, Joe, he's still Claude. He did the Aaron Rodgers thing. The Eagles were just a better team. There's no weapons around Aaron Rodgers. It seems like there's weapons that are developing. It seems like he's starting to have these guys. And Watson again, what is it, at 6 touchdowns now in the last, or 6 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. You have Lazard popping up, seeing like a weapon. These running backs that continue to get underutilized, and A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. A.J. Dillon's absolutely going off in that fourth quarter. He was barely used before that. I just think the Aaron Rodgers era is officially dead, and this game showed it to me. If the Aaron Rodgers was still Aaron Rodgers, he would have gone ahead and pulled off this game. Now, you can say the rib injury, Joe, the thumb. I don't want to hear any of that. This guy is toasted, and his finally father of time has come, and he's taking this dub. The Jordan Love era has begun. Again, the Eagles, barren with injuries, continue to somehow pull off a game that they look like they were on the ropes for a while. Packers, it's disappointing. It's heartbreaking. But the Aaron Rodgers era, ayahuasca era, the Aaron Andrews banging era, over. Fucking over your family, not talking to your brother for some weird reason ever again. Us hearing about that, over. For some reason, not getting immunized over getting vaccinated. Don't need to get into that. Not that type of show. Over. Aaron Rodgers is dead. Done. No more success for this man going forward.
All right. Well, I have nothing. You said everything. Aaron Rodgers he is robbing the bank. That is all he's doing. He is just robbing and not bringing the money back. Him and fucking cornball. They're just them. That's
another example. He's in that conversation now too with his contract extension because you have him for another 2 years now after this season.
Cornball. I'm telling you, cornball is robbing the bank and fucking fuckboy is doing the same thing. So
taking psychedelics and making millions. Good for Aaron Rodgers. He's pulling off one of the greatest cons of all time. My game of the week is the most obvious game of the week. Listen, apparently we'll get to Mike White. I know a lot of people are saying you're not even bringing up that Jets-Bears game. We'll get to Mike White. Relax, everybody. Calm down. I will address my favorite Latter-day Saint and what's going on with him. Everyone relax. We will get to that. But the game of the week is Chargers versus Cardinals. There's no doubt here it's Chargers versus Cardinals. Just a fucking electric game down to the wire. Looking like the Cardinals both teams trying to save their season. Still in the hunt. One team barely, one team pretty swiftly still in the hunt. And everyone that went ahead and went off the Justin Herbert trade, apologized. This show never did that. We never went to those links. I need you all to apologize. I saw him dropped in a fantasy league this week. Just disgusting, which made no sense. Also, that league's not that great, so that could be just another coincidence. But again, when Justin Herbert when it's on the line, when there's pressure on, there's something in this dude's brain that clicks. It's that Kobe clutch factor. It's the Joe Montana gonna take you to the Super Bowl factor. It's the Tom Brady factor. There's some sort of click when it on the line, when the season could be a bust and dead, that clicks in for Herbert. I don't want to hear any more slander on this defense either anymore. People are starting to slight this defense. I still think they are one of the better defenses in the league, despite what some stats have shown this year. Just overall, that the best 2-point conversion win of the week, maybe of the year. Shout out Chargers, Cardinals, season's done, put a fork in you. Probably because I never watched the HBO Max show, just couldn't get into it, didn't care. I know a lot of people are saying there's some great clips, couldn't motivate myself to do it. Oh,
like there it is. You're gonna throw up.
I just might at how sick and disappointing this Cardinals season has been. Yeah, man. The shout out to the Chargers, Cardinals not living up to they could be. I think there's jobs that are going to be relinquished and new hires that are going to be made this offseason for the Cardinals. Unfortunately, it shouldn't be that way, but it's looking like Kyler Murray's going to win that battle, and he's going to go ahead and drive Cliff Kingsbury out of town. I know you're not a Cliff Kingsbury guy. I always have been.
Hate him.
Shame to see.
Hate him. Don't care. I'm with it. Free my man Kyler.
Waiver wire pickups of the week. Mike White.
All right.
Go ahead.
Mike White. Hey, Mike White's cool. You just are a hater. That's all you're doing because you hate him because of Joe Flacco. I know you.
When we first designed this segment, waiver wire pickups of the week, what was the one catalyst? What was the one rule we made?
Yo, I'm not telling people to pick up fucking like Keyshawn Vaughn, dude. I'm not doing that. I'm telling people how to win a game. I don't need this shit.
We said not obvious pickups. And the first 2 pickups you're going to do is going to be Mike White. And the second one you're going to do is Zonovan Knight. And I know I know you.
Ready? My quarterback is Kenny Pickett. If you want a spot start, he's looking good.
Hold on one moment. Waiver wire pickups of the week for week 13 to win your fantasy league and buy you a new house.
So is that not good? Kenny Pickett?
Yeah, I'm fine with Kenny.
Okay, so my running back.
A little biased.
No, I mean it's against the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons suck. You guys beat the Falcons too. Remember, you guys. Himmicky looked pretty good against the Falcons. I mean, I'm not saying
what if you want to do Himmicky slander? How's he looked the last 6 weeks? Himmicky slandering now?
No, I'm saying when you play the Atlanta Falcons, your average quarterback will look good, and I think Kenny Pickett's average, like Himmicky. So
are you trying to say we haven't beat good teams in this streak?
Oh my God! Did I just say you beat the Falcons last week? I didn't bring anybody else up. I said the Falcons. I'm talking about the Falcons.
You're sounding like one of those guys. Oh well, they beat the Falcons.
My running back of the week is actually
not like we beat the potential number 1 NFC contender in the league. I mean, it's not like it's not like we did that. It's not like that's what we do to undefeated teams. We just break them. It's not like we did that. You remember that? Whack ass. Himmicky's your Pickett's your fucking quarterback. Okay, next, go. No one fucking gives a shit.
Kind of does matter. But anyways, my running back my running back of the week is gonna be I think it's Zamir White. I think you got to pick up Zamir White. You probably dropped him a long time ago. Josh Jacobs is hurt. I think he's going to take the bulk of the carries. My wide receiver is going to be Alec Pierce, the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, Matt Ryan looked like he's looking for him. They do have not an easier matchup, but the second cornerback for the Colts.
You might lose me. I need to send a quick text. I have to send this text. Keep going.
Okay. And then my tight end of the week is going to be back to Juwan Johnson. yes, he had his goose egg, but you know what? You're going to go for him again. Try to get a touchdown against Tom Brady and those fuckers because Njoku looked like a beast. So that's what happened. And then my defense of the week, we're going to go with the Jets. We're going to go with the Jets. The Jets look pretty good. They're going against Kirk Cousins and Jeddah. I think the Jets are going to be locked down. Sauce might lock them down. And then after that, we'll see what happens. So I think that's it. And then hopefully Joe did not fuck up this recording because we're in an hour in. Joe. Yeah, you fucked it up. No.
Clap on. Clap off. The clappers.
Okay, do it. Do it again.
Clap on. Clap off.
Why is it not working now? You were just on like 2 seconds ago.
We're good.
There you go.
I'm back, right?
No.
Ah!
Try again.
I'm moving so slow right now, dude. Hold on.
There you go. Stop.
All right, beautiful.
Stop. Okay, so that was my defense of the week. Go ahead, Joe.
Wouldn't be a face of the franchise without technical difficulties, aka me causing technical difficulties. Listen, love to Mike White. Mike White, again, just to repeat real quick, to make perfectly clear, and Zonovan Knight are not allowed in this segment because the purpose when this segment was originally created was not to do obvious waiver wire pickups of the week. Since I'm not being obvious, I'm going Jordan Love, 0.9% rostered and owned. If he doesn't start this week, he will start next week. That is a stamp. He will be a quarterback that if you're in a tough spot, maybe you picked up Justin Fields, you're a little bit worried about how he's going to play when he comes back. If he's going to come back this week, you don't know. So Jordan Love, let's go ahead. And he's going to be a pretty good play. He looked great against a tough Eagles defense. Guy's been waiting in the wings. We know how the tradition goes with Packer quarterbacks. So I feel pretty good with Jordan Love. If not this week, he will be a solid playoff run quarterback for you. Next up, no Zonovan Knight in this segment. As we know, instead, we're going to give you Mike Boone. Why Mike Boone? Because he will end up out-touching Latavius Murray. Those are the two backs going forward due to injuries. Mike Boone. I'm telling you, this guy has shown flashes of greatness. They are pretty desperate. They're in a fuck it mode. So why not go fuck it with Mike Boone? He's going to get you a couple touchdowns. He is touchdown dependent, but I believe he will get there for you. Next up, DeAndre Carter. This one may be my most obvious pick of the week. He looked great in that Chargers offense. He is going to be the guy until Mike Williams comes back. That's not going to be at least for 2 more weeks. So great spot start, 6.4% owned. Next up, Jelani Woods, 0.9% rostered, 9 targets from Matt Ryan last week. Again, another offense that's in a fuck it mode. That's with Jeff Saturday. He's basically going with what works right now. Jelani Woods has shown to work. Let's go ahead and start him going forward. It will at least give you a little bit of breathing room and relax in what is a tough tight end spot for a lot of people this year. And finally, what we start doing towards the end of the year and fantasy season, folks, is, as I told you last week, told you the week before, we told you multiple seasons in a row, both me and Nude, you start going off the worst offenses that are playing, the teams that they are playing. This week, the Rams, the worst offense. Still, the worst offense in the league is playing the Seahawks. Seahawks are a tough, gritty defense. I don't see the Rams even scoring a touchdown. They are in absolute shambles. The worst offense and maybe the worst team. Maybe the worst team in the league right now. And maybe where we were debating different stuff earlier, we were debating who's the greatest this, who's the greatest that. Maybe the greatest Super Bowl hangover all time, the Rams. Finally, dude, gambling corner. Are you ready? Nude, do I still got you? Did you just leave me, Nude? I think Nude might have gone to the bathroom or something, folks, so I'm going to keep rolling under the assumption that's what happened. is that he is going to the bathroom. And we are going to go ahead and we are going to start. We're going to go ahead and start the gambling corner for week 13, where we give you the over, the under, I guess that's the total anyway. I don't know where I'm going with this, but you know what segment it is. It is gambling corner. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start over on Thursday night football for week 13. Nude, are you back with me? Nude, still gone. Where did he go? I don't know. That is Gambling Corner, Week 13. As always, we start at Thursday Night Football, Nude. Thursday Night Football, we have the Bills versus the New England Patriots. Of course, the New England Patriots are +4 against the Buffalo Bills, even though they're at home. Over-under is 43.5. Nude, who you like, who you love?
Your camera's good. Stop.
I know.
Okay, Bills and the under.
Bills and the under. I am going to go same page. Nude and Joe are on the same page. Almost went over there, but it's an AFC rivalry. AFC's rivalry. It's going on. Next up, the New York Jets are going to chilly Minnesota to see the Minnesota Vikings. -3. The Minnesota Vikings are at home. Over under is 44.5. Nude, who you like? Who the fuck do you love?
Give me Minnesota and the over.
Minnesota and the over. I am going to go ahead and to show you there is no Mike White hate, even though currently he is damaging my favorite Latter-day Saints reputation. Not worried about that. He'll be back. Mike White can shine this week, and he will. This is my dog of the week. Jets win this game and the over. Jets win this game and the over. Next up, Denver Broncos versus the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are favored -8.5. And you know what, dude? This is, again, not to make you nut too much in one show, but my dumpster fire game of the week is the Ravens versus the Broncos. Again, Ravens are at home -8.5. Over under is 38.5. Dude, who the fuck do you like? Who the fuck do you love?
Give me the under, and hopefully the Broncos cover. Jesus Christ.
Fucking, I hate it. I hate it. Early in the gambling corner, and 2. Joe and Nude on the same page. That's never good. Next up, another game that Nude will likely abstain from, except for the total, is going to be, even though he gave us his cover on the last game, but he was very wary. This game, Pittsburgh Steelers are going to Atlanta to play the Atlanta Falcons. Over under is 42.5. Falcons are +1.5. That's right. Steelers are favored here. Nude, who you like, who you love?
Under. Whatever. If the Steelers are playing and you don't bet the under, you just hate money.
It's going to go ahead and be an under and -1.5 Pittsburgh Steelers for Joe. Next up, Jacksonville Jaguars. You know what? No, I'm sorry, dude. +1.5 Atlanta Falcons. The Steelers have been too hot lately, 2 in a row. I don't see it going past that. Falcons +1.5. Sorry, Nude. Under. Jacksonville,
okay.
Huh?
I said you're all right. No, I don't blame you.
Jacksonville, appreciate that. Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions are at home in +1.5. Over under is 51.5. Nude, I am taking that over. Nude, I am taking Jacksonville -1.5. I feel weary about it, but I'm going to stick with it. Who the fuck do you like? Who the fuck do you love?
I'm going to go the over with you, but I'm going to ride with Dan Campbell. I'm going to go with my boy Dan Campbell. So,
you know, I respect it, and it ripped my heart a little bit to go against our boy, pissing like a Rottweiler, Dan Campbell. But unfortunately, this week I am. Next up, we are going to go ahead and go Tennessee Titans versus the Philadelphia Eagles. -5.5 Philadelphia Eagles are. Over under is 45.5. Dude, who the fuck do you like? Who the fuck do you love?
Tennessee Titans, I guess, to cover and the over.
Very trepidatiously so, and I don't like this. Third, Nude and Joe on the same page, and I messed up my catchphrase for the first time ever. I said, who the fuck do you like? You know what? I'm getting in my own head. moving on. I butchered up the words, and I'm going to mess myself up even further, so we're just going to move along before I get myself in the ultimate mind pretzel in the gambling corner. Third Nude and Joe on the same page. That is dangerous. Cleveland Browns versus the Houston Texans. Houston Texans are +7. Over under is 47.5. Nude, who the fuck do you like? Who the fuck do you love?
This is for all the women out there. Houston Texans and the go.
Oh, let's go. And you know what? Almost another Nude and Joe on the same page, but this is going to be a bonkers game. Actually, you know what? Under. I'm sticking fourth Nude and Joe on the same page. Don't care. We're riding it. If it's going to be a Nude and Joe on the same page week record, which I believe is 7, then we'll have it.
You got to do it for the women.
Got to do it for all the women out there. This is one of the most feminist football shows around, so doing it for the women. Washington Commanders versus New York Giants, and seriously, what he did is fucked up. All jokes aside, he's a disgusting human, shouldn't be allowed in the league. We made that abundantly clear on the show. Next up, Washington Commanders versus the New York Giants. New York Giants are +2.5. Over under 48.5. Nude. The system that we've established on the show is working for one of us. I'm going to stick with it, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm taking the over, and that's it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go your boys, and I'm going to go the over as well.
Next game, we have a classic rivalry and maybe a second dumpster fire game of the week, and the Green Bay Packers versus the Chicago Bears. Over under is 43.5. Dude, I have a feeling where I'm going here. Who the fuck do you like? Who the fuck do you love? Do the Bears finally put another notch on the W column in this rivalry?
Give me the Bears to cover and the over.
Fuck, dude. Fifth Nude and Joe on the same page. Contingent. This Nude and Joe on the same page could be eliminated. Contingent, if Jordan Love starts, I'm taking Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Next up.
Okay.
Next up, Seattle Seahawks versus the worst team in football, the Los Angeles Rams. +7.5. The Los Angeles Rams are over under is 41.5. Nude, you already gave us a little teaser there. Who the fuck do you like? Who the fuck do you love?
Give me the Seahawks in the under.
Seahawks in the under. God damn it. That is going to be the 6th. It is a obvious board this week, but that also is the scariest kind of board there is, but it's going to be the 6th Nude and Joe on the same. You know what? No, fuck it. I'm not going to allow it. I'm going to hate myself. I might as well just cut off a toe, but +7.5 Rams in the under.
Go. There you
go. Miami Dolphins versus the San Fran 49ers. -3.5. The San Fran 49ers are at home. Over under 46.5. Feels a little low to me, Nude. Who you like, who you love?
49ers and the under.
Dolphins and the over. Plus, I'll take him at +3.5. Not quite money line. Next up, San Diego Chargers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders are at home in the Sin City. +1.5. Over under is 50.5. Nude, who the fuck do you like? Who the fuck do you love?
The Bengals, I guess, and the under.
We are on the Chargers and Raiders.
Still the Bengals and the under.
That's a classic season 1 Joe move, right?
But I'll do the Chargers. I'll do the Chargers and the under. I'll do the Chargers and the over. I'll do the Chargers and the over. And the
Chargers and the over, right? Raiders in the over. Now, next game, the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Cincinnati Bengals.
Is over.
+2.5. Over under. Nude doesn't care what it is. Give him the over. Over is 52.5. I'm going to have to agree with him there. It's one of the easier. There's a lot of overs that are pretty easy this week. That is one of them. Who the fuck do you like? Who the fuck do you love to win, cover, what in this game?
What, for the Chiefs? To cover.
For the Chiefs and Bengals.
I told you the Chiefs to cover.
Oh, I'm sorry. I heard over. I just heard over.
No.
Enunciate.
You got it. Go.
So you gave us Chiefs and over, right?
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give us Bengals in my another dog of the week, money line over. Next up, Colts versus the Dallas Cowboys. Someone's got to establish themselves in your division, dude. Colts versus the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys are minus 10.5. Over under is 43.5. Nude, who the fuck do you like? Who the fuck do you love?
Cowboys and the under.
It's under. Next up, Saints versus the Buccaneers in our Monday Night Football game in the final game of Week 13. Buccaneers are at home at minus 3.5 against the Saints. Over under is 40.5. Nude. Who the fuck do you like? Who the fuck do you love?
Give me the Bucks and the.
Give you the Bucks and the under. Give me the Saints and the under. The Bucks are absolutely off the train tracks. They are a mess, even more so than the Saints. Let Jameis start, even more of a lock. Saints plus 3.5 under.
There you go. And that's our gambling corner and the show. So thank you guys for rocking with us. And thank you for enjoying all our time here. Please follow and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. We're on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, wherever. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter under the Four Corners Radio page, as well as all the other podcasts that are falling under the umbrella, as well as shout out to our sponsors, Stuck Up Clothing, finest fashion money can buy. Follow them on Instagram, go to their website, see their new stuff, as well as anything that they're going to release soon, as well as Eyesight Mobile Eyewear Company. That's Eyesight with an I, the mobile eyewear company that comes to you. Follow them on Instagram, as well as see their new line and all their new stuff coming out soon for the summer months and the winter months, as well as Seductions by Jax. She just got a new office. So make sure you follow her on Instagram, as well as get your bookings done today. All the tags will be under our posts, as well as our Instagram stories. I am your host, Michael the Pharaoh Shanuti. That is Lil Joe.
You know where to put your heart. You know where to put your heart on those ads, baby.
I got you. Stay breezy, stay easy. One love.
Whoop, whoop. And again, you know what? Maybe retiring the end of show bit. We'll see.